Welcome to the Midlife Leap, a lifestyle talk show for women in midlife. I'm your host, Sunita Johnson, and I'm excited to share tips and interviews on topics ranging from business, career, current news, fashion, shopping, health, travel, and so much more. And because I'm known as the Midlife Leap Coach, from time to time I'll share some of my signature Midlife Leap coaching tips. So come on, ladies, let's reignite and reimagine our Midlife Leap journey together. One of the major stories that occurred in the news this week was the hack that occurred at Colonial Pipeline, and unfortunately this affected our gas supply here on the East Coast. Well, one of my colleagues reminded me of the Gas Buddy app. You can put in your location, find the nearest gas station to you, and it will even show you which gas stations have gas supply on hand. So next time you need gas, download Gas Buddy. Ladies, let's welcome Deborah Darris. Yay, thank you for joining us, Deborah. Deborah is an international speaker known as the top peak performance Latina keynote speaker. She's the CEO of Synergy Unlimited, a published author and marketing consultant. Deborah delivers a cutting edge strategies to help her audience and clients become more efficient, productive, and innovative. Now, Deborah, I understand that due to the pandemic, you lost a lot of your speaking engagements last year, but yet you managed to overcome fear and anxiety and land on your feet. What tools worked for you that you could share with my audience?
Yes, thank you so much for inviting me, by the way. And it wasn't just some of my speaking gigs, it was all of my speaking gigs. And they were to exotic places like Monaco, Medellin, Colombia, and back to Italy. So it was a hard hit when everything just dissolved into nothing. And I will tell you, as a human being, even though I'm a mindset strategist and a motivational speaker and an expert in marketing, my first reaction as a human was to go into fear, was to go into anxiety. I'm like, oh my God. And we ask ourselves, why did this happen to me? But what we have to realize when it comes to mindset is the quality of our questions or the quality of our lives. So asking why doesn't help us move forward. In fact, it keeps us stuck. We have to shift to what is the lesson here and how can I take inspired action to get out of this funk. And so I went within. I know, and I learned this from an Einstein quote, is we can't solve a problem from the consciousness that created it. So the more I thought about it and how all my gigs were gone, the more I worried. So thinking doesn't get you out of that funky place. We have to get out of the thinking mind, that left brain, into our creative mind, our innovative mind that is tapped into the superconscious genius potential where you can get divine downloads. And these divine downloads said, Deborah, you need to shift your focus from self and why did this happen to me to service. And I want you to ask this question. I heard this from my download, and it was, how can I use my talent, skills, and abilities to be of service? So shifting from the idea of, oh, how am I going to sell myself? Because let's face it, none of us want to sell ourselves. And where we are in our life, some of us are reinventing ourselves. We're doing new careers. We have a new purpose. We're able to live freely. Our kids are off to college. And now is your time to make those moves. How are you going to make those moves? Shifting from self to service. How can I serve? And so I would wake up in the morning and I would say, use me. Show me how I can be of the highest service today. And so I got this inspirational idea to start doing Webinar Wednesday. If you go to my website, it still says, I'm like, what if every Wednesday, I think today is Wednesday, isn't it? What if every Wednesday I would do a webinar? And I started out doing one free webinar. From that one free webinar, I got paid to do a webinar, and then I got paid to do another one. And all of a sudden, my business went from international speaker to get paid to sit on your couch and do webinar speaker. I'm not mad. I'm still helping people to fulfill their goals and their dreams by fulfilling their soul's contract to do what they love and be paid abundantly to do it. It's just, I don't have to get on a plane anymore. I don't have to fly anywhere. I could still be of service as an infopreneur and get it done by focusing on what do I have to give. So the mindset shift is asking the quality questions, not from victim consciousness to why did this happen to me, to what is this lesson? What do I need to learn? Like technology, like how to do webinars. I didn't know how to do webinars before 2020. It really taught me how to do it. And then also to ask yourself, use me. How can I allow my talents, my skills, and ability to be of service to inform and transform the world? And when you do that, you're going to see your life expand and
Mm.
you're going to be fulfilling your soul's contract and have a joy rather than a job.
So when you got the message webinars, was it like, because obviously it was perfect timing because everyone's at home on their computer and they can't go
Right.
anywhere. So do you think that you kind of subliminally knew that it would be successful because of that, or you didn't know, you just went with it and got results?
No, that's the whole point about the divine downloads. It's not like it's not coming from the left brain. And I have a podcast called Align for Success that teaches how to do the inner work because my whole business is spiritually based, right? So I believe in God. I believe that there's a divine purpose. I believe that I'm here for a reason to be of service. And that when instead of my thinking and try to solve problems and push or pull things, I get out of the way and I'm able to receive because the answers and the vision for my life has already been laid out. It's already been fulfilled. But when we get still, we ask those questions, we listen, we hear the answers that are being given to us. Then we can take inspired action. For some people, it's not like a voice, it's an image because we're using the faculty of our right brain. Most people, unless you studied with Dr. Joe Dispenza or somebody or, Greg Braden, you aren't using the full capacity of your brain. You're just defaulting to what you learned in school, which is the left brain problem solving. But the right brain, the creative part of our mind, the innovative part of our mind that taps us into the super conscious genius potential mind, all of the infinite answers are within us. We don't have to go to Google. We don't have to go to YouTube. They are right here. But most people aren't taking the time to pause and ask and go within. We go outside of ourselves and we think we need to hire this person or hire that person. All of our answers are within us.
Okay, you and I are creative people. I was in LA as well, living by the ocean, just sort of have that natural creative connection. What about someone who's in Idaho or wherever, but their whole life is corporate America, and maybe they haven't tapped into that creative side?
I don't believe that I'm really a creative person at all. Maybe you see me like that, but I'm super analytical. I'm super like, I've got like lists and everything is like, this is what happened at this time. For somebody that it doesn't matter if you're in Idaho or you're on Mars, we all have the power to go within. It's not like you need a beach to be creative. You need to go within yourself. You need to listen. You need to get still. And some people, meditation helps them with this. Some people, yoga helps with this. There's a book by Dr. Michael Beckwith that taught me the life visioning process that really helped me to learn how to get the divine downloads. It is not something that's outside of you, it's within you.
I will say, because of the pandemic and a lot of people are still at home, everyone's not back in the office. Wouldn't you think
Yeah.
this is a great time for people to tap into that side of themselves?
Oh, yeah. I mean, being at home, I mean, for some of us, there's much more time for reflection, contemplation, marination. And we could either use the brain ineffectively by going, which I did at first, by going to worry, anxiety, and fear and scarcity, all lack, all limitation, all the time, or we can turn that dial and go to K possibility, what is possible, creativity, innovation, what's next, what's now.
Okay. What's some of the feedback from clients, like just different type of personalities? Because you're a coach, you're a speaker. Have you gotten any feedback from a client that said, "Oh wow, I lost my job at Xerox. I tried your method and now I'm doing this," or something different? I'm trying to get different, I guess, ideas or different results from different types of people.
Yeah. So, I mean, I work with this pharmaceutical company who found me on YouTube. I've been doing speaking engagements and coaching of their top executives. And oftentimes, there is frustration with how different managers are maybe not as effective as they could be, micromanaging or just not giving positive encouragement. And I was coaching one of my clients on this method, and she was feeling really discouraged. And I told her, I said, well, when you came to me for coaching, you asked to be a more confident and a better communicator. Instead of thinking that this supervisor being mean and ornery is a bad thing, this is your opportunity to practice what we're talking about. And when we did the visioning process together, because I led her through the process, she realized that it was so important that she speak up and that she have a voice and not be that closed mouth at the board meeting, because her perspective and her ideas were valuable. Part of what she realized when she went within is her intrinsic value. Oftentimes, we identify our value or our worth based on a title or a position. It has nothing to do with that. When you go within and you're so grounded in the truth of who you are, the talents that you have, you're not going to let a manager that is ineffective with communication push you down or silence you. You're going to have the courage and the confidence to speak up, to speak out. And when you do, that's when you're going to have opportunities for promotion. And if you don't have opportunities for promotion, guess what? You're going to have opportunities at another organization that is going to appreciate your talent, skills, and abilities. But no matter what, you're on the right path as long as you follow that guidance to speak up and speak out. And that's what her divine download was. She needed to be heard, seen, and her message was important.
Can we walk through a mini visioning? Is it life visioning
Mhm.
process? Can
Yeah, we
we,
could.
anyone?
Yeah. So, and this is not something I made up. This is something that Dr. Michael Beckwith used. You could buy his book, Life Visioning. Um, but basically, you start out with gratitude and getting into a meditative state, which, we don't have time to do it right now. But if I was leading, if you go to my YouTube channel on Deborah Darris Live, I have a sample visioning process. And then you ask, what is the vision for my career? And you don't think about it. We're not uploading a file. You allow the file to download. And so, what I do with my clients is I have them imagine that there's a whiteboard in front of them, and you clear the screen. And what is the vision? What is the image that you see? Most likely, your right brain doesn't give you words, it gives you pictures, because the right brain processes in images and pictures, sometimes feelings or colors, right? So then when you get the picture, you write it down. That's why I knew I was going to be a speaker. I saw this picture of me speaking. Then you ask yourself, what qualities do I need to embrace to allow myself to be this person? Maybe it's confidence, maybe it's patience, maybe it's focus. What do I need to let go of? What are the playing small or overcommitting I need to let go of? Then the next step would be is what are inspired actions I can take now to allow this vision to unfold through me? Write that down. Then you should just freestyle, ask any other questions that come to you. I always write them down. And then that's your blueprint. That will give you your divine downloads, your inspired action to take. And it's not like we're just doing this and then we don't take action. It's like, okay, I know that I was instructed to do webinars. Let me do them. I don't know how to do them, but I'm going to learn and figure them out. And that's what I spent last year doing, figuring out. And I didn't just do webinars on Zoom, Sunita. I was doing Adobe, every kind of, because corporations don't use Zoom. So I had to learn how to use every single kind of platform, how to interact with people, how to read a room that you can't see. So many new skills I learned from trusting the process.
Wow. And now you have a whole other way of meeting clients. Tap,
Yeah, it's
getting
so awesome.
through. Yeah. Awesome. So, Deborah, how would a client, someone who's interested in your services, a company that wants you to speak, how would they reach you?
Yeah, they could go to my website, which is my name. You could see it there. It's deborahdarris.com, DeborahDeras.com. And on the website, I have a free video. It's 4 steps to align for success, and it's how to stop the negative self talk and reframe it to an empowering belief that will set you up for success. So I have a free video that I teach when I do corporate training and also that I coach when I do one on one. So all of your listeners can get that gift right at deborahdarris.com. And
Oh,
also, if you can follow my YouTube channel, which is just Deborah Darris Live. I do a weekly podcast on how to do the inner work to align for success. So instead of pushing and working harder, you align, you magnetize, you attract, and you work smarter by doing the inner work to have the outer results.